Yellow Grand Slammers, it is Cameron Diaz here. I just thought that I'd, well, first off, welcome to episode 3 of Cam's Pinstriped Show. Welcome to episode 3. Today's episode, we'll be talking about Derek Jeter, who's a former Hall of Famer Yankee shortstop, and I will be talking about why I have mad respect for Derek Jeter. So yeah, let's begin. But before we do, I'd like to say if you haven't already, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe on my YouTube channel. It really means a lot to me, especially since one day I want to be a really popular YouTuber. And TikTok. Follow me on my TikTok too. My TikTok is Cameron98 every day. So yeah, cool. Let's get started. But first things first, I want to get something real quick so that we could mention about it in today's episode. So hold on a sec. As if I can find it, ladies and gentlemen, because sometimes I'm pretty sure I know where I kept it. So, like, I know it's here. Because there it is. See, I knew it was there. It was just a matter of, yeah. Oh, God. Alright. So here we go. So, let's get started on today's episode. I feel like ever since I became a Yankees fan, a New York Yankees fan, I've always liked Derek Jeter as my all-time favorite player. Like when I first became a Yankees player, no, when I first became a New York Yankees fan, it was back in the 6th, 7th grade, like around 2009, 2010. Like I was just getting into the sport of baseball, and I was just starting to like baseball, mainly because the only sport back then that I only watched NASCAR, and that was about it. But then around 2009, 2010, I started to develop a liking for baseball as another sport. So it was pretty cool. And when I became a New York Yankees fan, like it's like I didn't know that many players at the time, but the only player I could think of off the top of my head at that point many years ago, and keep in mind this is like almost like 15 years ago, maybe even more. Um, I liked Derek Jeter. Like he was my all-time favorite Yankees player. Like at the time when I first became a Yankees fan, he was still playing, and he was still at his prime, even if he was in his mid 30s at the time. Like he was still playing, like he was fresh off the dugout, and like as if he were still a fairly new player. When in reality, he was in his mid 30s and was still playing good. Around the time I became a Yankees fan. And let me tell you something. Derek Jeter is such a humble Yankees player. He's always in a class X. He's has great sportsmanship. Like he's never beefed with any other baseball team or players for that matter. He always respected them even if things weren't going well, like with other going against other teams. He always knew how to be the voice of reason, like while playing the game, and he always was able to be like a mentor to new upcoming players and stuff. Like he was just great, you know. And I'm pretty sure the reason why he was such a good class act is because his mother and father practically taught him how to act like that. Otherwise, they would not support him anymore. So, in other words, his parents taught him right. And that's why Derek Jeter has sense in his head. So good for him. Um, Another reason why I like Derek Jeter too is not just because he's a nice guy and a class act for a MLB player, but even though Derek Jeter has won multiple accolades, like he's won so many awards, he's won the World Series 5 times: 96, 98, 99, 2000, 2009. Like, even if he's a 5-time World Series champion, like Hall of Fame shortstop for the Yankees, even if he has his number retired, even if he's in the Baseball Hall of Fame, he doesn't brag about it. He doesn't brag about his success. Like, yeah, he shares about his success, but he doesn't do it in a way where he's like bragging and making himself look like he's all that in a bag of chips. And the fact that, and another thing too, he doesn't brag about it like to the point where he has like a big ass ego. Like, Derek Jeter knows better. He talks about his success, but I feel like he does it in a way where, he's talking about it, but he's humble about it, and that he hopes one day more people will end up being just as successful as him. Because, like I said, he's a great mentor. So, um, yeah. Plus, Derek Jeter has been giving back to the community. Like he has his like charity, the Turn Two Foundation. Like, he's done so many donations and giving back, with his Turn Two Foundation group. Not to mention the Jeter's leaders, like, which is good too. Um, Another thing too, there's so many things I like about Derek Jeter. Like, there's so many memorable moments when he played for the Yankees. Like, how he was a part of like 5 World Series champion teams for the Yankees, ranging from '96 to 2009. Like, he made a big name for himself starting in 1996. It's like how he basically won Rookie of the AL Rookie of the Year. Like, he was the best. Like, he was like one of the best upcoming players on the Yankees in 1996 that made a breakthrough, and they won the 1996 World Series after not winning the World Series in over 20 years. So, since the last time they won the World Series before they won in '96, the last time they won was in 1978. So yeah, um, but yeah, go figure though. But it was great though, And then of course Jeter had other memories, like, he did good in '98 and '99, but then in 2000 I feel like was great year because he won All-Star Game MVP in 2000. And not only that, but like he also won World Series MVP in 2000, the same year when they won the World Series in 2000 against the New York Mets for the Subway Series, that's why Derek Jeter's the only Yankee to win All-Star Game MVP and World Series MVP in one season. He became the first and only Yankee player to do so. So, and as the time, and let's not forget how in 2001, that Derek Jeter's performance in, like, the playoffs. They made the playoffs once again. There was a play where, like, Giambi was like maybe on second base and whatnot, and like someone on the Athletics had hit a double. Like Paul O'Neill or someone in whoever was playing right field at the moment threw the ball. It was off balance, and then all of a sudden Derek Jeter comes out of nowhere from shortstop, claims the ball, and then he flips it to Jorge Posada, and then Jorge Posada catches the ball, and then he tags Jeremy Giambi out at the plate, nearly, almost scoring, but still he was called out at the plate. And that's how the famous flip play happened, which everyone says is the best play that Derek Jeter ever did as a shortstop. And then in the 2001 World Series, let's not forget when Derek Jeter hit a home run in the bottom of the 10th inning in Game 4 of the 2001 World Series, like after Tino Martinez tied it up, and then the bottom of the ninth inning, Derek Jeter hit a home run, the walk-off home run in Game 4 of the 2001 World Series, hensing him the nickname Mr. November because, let's be real here, like, he deserved that title. Since Mr. October was already taken by Reggie Jackson when he hit 3 home runs in Game 6 of the 1977 World Series, so Jeter had to have his own title and nickname. So yeah. And of course, from then on, like, Jeter was just playing, really good baseball, good stats, and won the World Series again in 2009, like during the first inaugural season at the new Yankee Stadium. He then, of course, surpassed Lou Gehrig for most hits as a Yankee or whatnot. And then, of course, in 2011, he reached 3,000 hits in July of 2011. So he became another player who hit the 3,000 hit mark. And then 2012, he did really good. And then on 2014, he announced that he was going to retire after the 2014 MLB season. And let me tell you, Derek Jeter played good baseball for his last season as a Yankee player. Like, he was 40 years old, but he was still playing good baseball even after he retired. And the last ever game that he ever played at Yankee Stadium, where he hit a walk-off single to score the run at the plate, how he did his last ever game, and he ended it off his career with a walk-off hit. That was probably like the most emotional night ever in Yankees baseball. How he hit a walk-off hit in his last game as a Yankee player before he retired. Like, it was so emotional. Like, I tried not to cry the minute I saw him, like, crouch down in the middle of the infield, like, doing a prayer and whatnot. It was just so... It was a bittersweet, emotional ending to his career. I swear to God. Then, of course, like, many years later, he has a family. He has 3 daughters, and he's married to this model, Hannah Davis, who's now Hannah Jeter. And as of 2020, Derek Jeter became a member of the Baseball Hall of Fame, which means he's a Hall of Famer now. And not only that, but Derek Jeter also got his number retired at Yankee Stadium. And not only that, but he also is a part of Monument Park now too. So yeah, I summed it up for you why I like Derek Jeter. And if you're not aware, I have like multiple Derek Jeter related stuff for the Yankees. I have books about him. I got movies. I got I have a jersey or 2 of Derek Jeter. I got it all pretty much. I even have a special number 2 Yankees hat. So I just don't know where I put it. But yeah. But the most number 1 important thing that I liked about Derek Jeter is the fact how he, gave me the best advice ever. That's right, because I actually sent a letter to Derek Jeter about 11 years ago. I was at Edelbrook, which was a living fucking nightmare because of how terrible that residential was, because of the crazy stuff that went down there. I was just going through a rough time. I didn't know how. I was bullied constantly. I was dealing with stuff with my mom. And I just wrote a letter to Derek Jeter, asking for advice about, what can I do to make everything better. And so Derek Jeter personally wrote a letter to me. And this is what Derek Jeter said to me in this letter he sent back to me. He says, "Dear Cameron, first let me say thank you for writing your letter and being such a great fan of mine in the New York Yankees. My advice to you is whenever you are faced with a tough situation is to think positive and just get through it. When I had my ankle injury occur this past postseason, I could have been negative about it and let it affect me during the off season. However, I used my injury as a motivation to get healthy and come back to help my teammates this upcoming baseball season. Also, I used the support of my coaches and teammates to help me as I rehabbed my injury. Keep cheering for us as the season will be opening soon, and good luck with all you do. Best wishes, Derek Jeter. And I still treasure this letter to this day. Like this is like my favorite ever Yankees collectible. My letter from Derek Jeter. Like that's why I have mad respect for Derek Jeter. Like he gave me really good advice when I needed it the most. Like, I can't believe a baseball player who I'm a biggest fan of, my all time favorite player, giving me advice, the best at that. And yeah, like this is why I like Derek Jeter. Like all this stuff that I talked about in this video, that's why I like Derek Jeter so much. So yeah. Um so now that this episode was about Derek Jeter, which Yankees player do you want me to have an episode of to talk about next? Do you want me to do an older Yankee player like Yogi Berra, Mantle, or Barris? Do you want me to do older play other players like O'Neill, Williams, or even current players like Judge or Stanton or anyone? Let me know. Let me know which Yankees player you would want me to talk about next, and I will take it into consideration. But thank you for watching episode 3 of Cam's Pinstriped Show. Like I said in the beginning of the video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. It means a lot to my channel. And hopefully I'll get famous one day on YouTube. So so hope you have a good day, and I will see you Grand Slammers and Jeter fans some other time. Yep, bye bye.